This is an opportunity for us to introduce some incredible young men, introduce some of the hardest working people in our district with our head football coaches, and it's just a time to kind of celebrate the start of a new year. I want to run through a couple of things about our success of our football programs recently. So last year we won 7 region championships in Fulton County, and to make that point, we compete in 7 different regions. So we won the region championship in every region that a Fulton County school competed in last year. For the second year in a row, we had a team win state championship. So Milton won the 7A state championship last year. More importantly, we had over 150 student athletes signed to play college football for this year. So real quick, I would like for all the football players that are here to stand up real quick. So your coaches will, absolutely. All right, you guys can be seated. Your coaches will talk about you, but I want you to understand how big of an honor it is that you've been selected to be here. Your coach looks at you, and it's not about your playing ability. I'm sure y'all have incredible ability on the field, but they look at you as a leader on the field and, more importantly, off the field. So when it's hot, which we know it's going to be hot, when things are not going well, your coaches are going to look for you for leadership. Your teammates are going to look for you to leadership. So, that's going to be your goal. So you should appreciate how awesome it is that you have the ability to be here, that your coaches have looked at you and have seen that leadership ability in you. I'd like to say thank you to our 16 head football coaches. Okay, if you would please stand real quick. Okay. When you look at these 16 gentlemen, you will see 16 of the hardest working people in our school district, hands down. So they get there before everybody else and they leave afterwards. They don't do it for the money, they do it because they love working with kids. So thank y'all very much. I'd like to thank the principals that are here. I'll let Dr. Looney thank the board members that are here and our area superintendents, but thank y'all very much. It takes everybody in order to make this work for us, and so thank you for all your work. So at this point, I would like to introduce our new superintendent, Dr. Mike Looney.
Well, this is exciting. There's very few things that bring a school community together like Friday Night Lights. There are very few things. So thank you so much for your commitment to bringing our community together. To you athletes, thank you for your hard work this season, or for the summer, for the upcoming season. I will say I don't have the opportunity to speak to athletes very often, so I want to take this moment to say this. You've been given the blessing of not only playing on the gridiron, but you also have been given the blessing of leading other students in your school. And so I want you to play with strength and courage and be bold, and also with strong character. Winning is extremely important, but how you win is equally important. So please, I know your coaches have instilled that in you, and I thank them for that, but I wanted you to hear it from me as well. Coaches, thank you so much for your tireless commitment to the athletes that you serve. Thank you for your leadership and your character. I look forward to working with you and, more importantly, supporting the work that you do. I would be remiss if I didn't do this. Our school district is run by a magnificent school board, and we happen to have some of those school board members in attendance today. And so I want to recognize our board president, Mrs. Linda Bryan. If you'll please stand, let's give her a round of applause. And then we have Katha Stewart, who is one of our school board members. She came with pom-poms and everything. I challenged her to do a cheer before today was over with, so we'll see if she takes me up on that challenge. It'll be interesting to see what team she chose. And then, obviously, Mrs. Katie Reeves. Thank you for being here, Katie. In a large school district like we have, I know that you athletes recognize this. Teamwork is important, right? So let's work this year as one unified team. Let's fight hard on the football field and shake hands like gentlemen when we leave. Have a great day. Are there any other elected officials here in the audience today? None? Okay, so, Coach, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Looney. Really appreciate that and appreciate the board members that are here. And I believe I see two area superintendents that are here, Ms. Crumbly and Ms. Corrigan. Oh, I see three. So Ms. Henderson is here as well. So Mr. Corrigan, thank you all very much for being here. Real quick, I would like to say thank you to BSN, and Trey is back there in the back. So he provided the breakfast, and then we've got shirts for the young men and for the coaches that will be there. So thank you very much for your partnership. Thank you. So at this point, it is my privilege to introduce our guest speaker for today, Christian Abercrombie. So Christian is a graduate of Westlake High School. He finished his playing career in 2016. He went and played at University of Illinois for 2 years, and then he transferred to Tennessee State University as starting linebacker. Unfortunately, he was injured this past fall. He collapsed on the sideline while playing a game at Vanderbilt. He had emergency brain surgery, was later transferred to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta. Doctors were not sure if he would ever walk again, but as you can see, the man has unbelievable resilience. Okay, truly an honor to introduce him. So thank you very much.
Good morning. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Fulton County, the superintendent, Dr. Kraft, high school athletic directors, coaches, and student athletes for having me today. Football and the future. I'm honored to be here for sharing this special day with all of you. This day is filled with projections and so much excitement for the 2019 football season. You've all been working very hard this summer to prepare for the winning season that is approaching. I commend everyone, the coaches and players, for your commitment. This game of football requires you to be all in and fully committed to the process. I can remember those hot, draining days like it was just yesterday. The days seem long and draining, but I don't regret any of them. During those days, it formed lifelong relationships with some great people. As a student athlete, I was determined to be one of the best. And to be one of the best, you have to work harder than average. If you are doing what everyone else is doing, what makes you unique or different from anyone else. To be one of the best, it means you work before and after everyone else. In addition, you have to be first and not last. Each play you are giving it all. You are giving it all you have without complaining. And while working, you're thinking of how you are going to be one of the best on the team and making sure that an impact is made. Fulton County schools have had dozens of best players to make it to the NFL because they work hard and they are one of the best. It was important to me to always surround myself with others that had a similar mindset. Our goals had to be similar as we encouraged each other. And as I reflect back on my junior and senior year at Westlake High School, I can just remember how my coaches instilled discipline and determination in me to always give it my all each play. That stuck with me all through my college career. And still have a passion for football that will live in me forever. When I played, I displayed my passion with enthusiasm by every opportunity I had. I wasn't a big talker, but my expressions said it all. I encourage each of you to do the same. On September 29, 2018, I had no idea that the game that I was looking forward to playing could be the last one I played. By the film, I gave my very best. At halftime, I had a quarterback hurry, 5 tackles, and 3 solo tackles. I gave the game my all. I continued to watch the game over and over again because I don't remember the day clearly. So this 2019 football season, I encourage you to play each game like it's your last game. I also strongly suggest that you listen to your body. Playing the game of football requires that your body is prepared. Being prepared includes proper rest, diet, and fluids. Without preparation, the game of football will not allow you to perform at your best. If something does not feel normal, communicate to someone. As athletes, we just want to play the game, but it's so important that we listen to our body. As the season will quickly go by, you will have the opportunity to meet many college coaches and visit schools during your recruitment. This process is fun, but can be overwhelming. While visiting colleges and universities, begin to compile a list of pros and cons of each visit. And always remember that you are a student athlete, so you must review the academics of the school. If your major is not offered, most likely you should not choose the school. Do not select a school because you have built a relationship with the coaching staff. It's great to build relationships, but know the coaching staff changes, and you don't want that to be your deciding factor. Keep your selection realistically. If you do not fit the mold of the school or conference, you might be wasting your time. Select a school that can fit your needs. The number one priority as a student athlete should include graduating with a degree. I know it's easy to focus on the field. That's great. I thought the same thing. But the picture is larger. Think of your future beyond football. Select a school that will further your lifelong career. The goal of many football players is to make it to the NFL draft. I had the same dream. My life-threatening injury changed my route, but not my dream. I was selected to announce the 5th-round draft pick for the Tennessee Titans. It was exactly how I dreamed it because in my mind, I would be drafted. But I made it and enjoyed the experience. I know that God will continue to order my steps that will lead me to my dreams. My journey is just taking an alternate route. I will follow the lead and be grateful for the journey. I also want to send a huge shout out to the administration, faculty, and staff, and especially to the coaching staff of Westlake High School for preparing me well. I appreciate everything you did for me. And to the student athletes, I leave you with this. Trust the process, trust God, and I pray and declare that each of you will experience a successful and injury-free season. Thank you.
Christian, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here. And, I'll say this, you exemplify what it means to be a student athlete. You exemplify what it means to have determination and courage. And, you've gone through an experience that nobody else wants to, but you're a better person for it. And, the fact that you're able to share that with everybody, that's truly a blessing. So thank you very much. So at this point, we're going to start calling up our coaches. We're going to start with the Northwest Learning Community. So we're going to bring up Alpharetta, Cambridge, Milton, and Roswell.
Good morning. I'll go ahead and get us started. I keep teasing Dr. Kraft. He's either putting me first to get me over with, or I'm getting so good at this, I'm setting the tone for everybody. My name is Jacob Nichols. I'm the head football coach at Alpharetta High School. I'd like to first start off by saying a few thank yous. What a great message from Christian we just received. I wish I had that on tape so I could take it back and share it with my kids at the outset of every season because, he said everything that football players need to hear on a day-to-day basis. I'd like to thank Dr. Kraft, Dr. Looney, and all of the other Fulton County administrative level personnel for being here, for helping us put on this great event. This is a first-class event and something that I hope that our players and our coaches will remember and get them excited about for the season. I'd also like to thank our athletic director at Alpharetta High School, Mr. Dustin Rinspies. He's back there in the Oh, actually, he's over here. He's new to us this year. He and I have got to spend a lot of quality time together this summer, getting the ball rolling on some things, and so that's developing into a really great relationship. Also like to thank our principal, Dr. Shannon Kersey, who couldn't be here this morning, but thank her for her support and for always supporting me, having my back, and helping me to learn and become a better leader every day. Last but not least, I'd like to introduce our two special guests today. They're all the way in the back. If you can turn around, guys, stand up for me. Got number 16, Will Gertis. He's our quarterback. And number 56, Breon Smith, who is a defensive and offensive lineman for us. So let's give them a quick hand. Will, like I said, is our returning starter at quarterback. He stepped into a situation last year where he had some very big shoes to fill, and definitely it was a learning experience. But it was really exciting for me to watch him grow throughout the course of the season last year, and towards the end, he really transformed himself into a big-time player who made a lot of great plays for us. And this year, he's really encompassed the role of being a team leader. Not only on the field, but in the weight room and most importantly in the classroom. I know you can see on his profile there the grades, the marks he's been able to put up, and that's part of what makes him a very special individual. Breon is going to be a very rare 3-year starter for us this year. He's one of the toughest and most fearless players that we have, and he serves a lot of roles for us. He does everything he's asked to do. He's played on offense, he's played on defense, he's played special teams. And he really helps set the tone for our team and the hard work that we're asking out of him. So I really appreciate those guys being here today. Just a quick review and preview of the last couple of seasons. Last year we finished with a 6-5 record, made it to the first round of the playoffs. I think we would all agree within our program that it's not quite up to the standard that we expect. So that's a major goal for us this year is to improve upon that. We did lose a great deal of talent off of last year's team. We had 11 players sign college scholarships, which is very exciting for us. But we also last year had a chance to play a lot of underclassmen, especially a lot of 10th graders, and they will all be back with us this year. So we feel like we got some quality experiences last year, and that really helped set us up for some success leading into this school year. You know, we feel like we have a shot to be a pretty good football team this season. Our biggest focus right now is just developing a level of commitment and pride in our team and in our players, making sure everyone's on the same page as far as what goals we are trying to accomplish, so that we're all pulling our weight in the right direction. We're going to open up on August 29th in the Freedom Bowl over at Milton, which sounds like it's going to be a really cool event. I know this is year 2, and I'd like to give a special thank you to Coach Clack and Coach Sly over at Milton for allowing us to be a part of that and including us in that experience. So we're definitely looking forward to that one. As far as our expectation goes, I don't think it's really changed over the last couple of seasons. We go into every year, you know, expecting to compete and win every game that we play, and to compete for a region championship, and obviously to get into the playoffs where, as we all know, anything can happen. So that'll be our main focus going into practice here in a couple of short weeks. Luckily, we've got a little bit of extra time before we play our first regular season game, so we know we've got a lot of work to do. This summer, we've been keeping ourselves pretty busy. We tried to incorporate some new and different experiences for our kids this summer. Our focus in June was mainly the passing game and 7-on-7. We made a trip to University of Georgia, got to see some really awesome facilities there. We also competed in the Corky Kell 7-on-7, which I think is probably the most competitive in the state, if not the country. We also took a group down to Valdosta, Georgia, and played in the heat, 109 degrees. But it was a great experience for our kids to be in that atmosphere. And then the last couple of weeks, we've been participating in some contact camps with some of the Forsyth County schools and a lot of the other schools that are in this room today, getting some work in with some pads. So hopefully we've done what we need to do to prepare our guys mentally and physically for the upcoming season. And we're really looking forward to getting it started in the near future. So good luck to everybody in the room, and hopefully we'll see you all on the gridiron in the near future.
Good morning. My name is Coach Bennett, Cambridge High School. I want to also reiterate what Coach Nichols said, and thank you to Fulton County Athletics, Dr. Kraft, Dr. Looney, all the representatives from the school board. Christian, man, that was an amazing story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's why we're here and what we do, and appreciate that. I want to thank Coach Brawell in the back, my athletic director, and Miss Primley, our principal, who gives me this opportunity to do what I get to do every day and come to work and enjoy it with young men and hopefully keep us young over the years. So I want to introduce our two players. TJ Mowry, the young man that's on the board was not able to be here this morning, so I brought Philip Michael Collins. If you guys will stand up for me. Thank you. TJ will be a third-year letterman, a 2-year starter, plays linebacker for us, will also play some offense for us. Takes on a lot of leadership roles, not only within our team, but within the school as well. He has a 4.0 GPA and a 33 ACT. So he's got some major decisions looming in the next few months as to where he will go to school, and they're all pretty good choices. So the other young man is Philip Michael Collins. He was a starter for us as a sophomore, rushed for 1,001 yards. That one was important. He wanted to make sure I got that one in. So he'll be our second-year starter for us as a junior. Also takes on a lot of leadership roles in our school. He takes a leadership role within Skills USA. And also on our leadership council for football. I want to just talk to the coaches just one more time. I try to do this every year, but understanding why we're here and why we do what we do. And I think Christian's story kind of explains that. It's not what we do for the next 3 months, but it's the impact that we're going to have for the next 40 years, hopefully on these young men that will come back and contribute to their communities and be good husbands and fathers and role models. Not only for those 3 months, and sometimes we lose track of that. We're so excited about those 3.5 to 4 months, but it's so much more important than that. And I know you guys know that. It's why you're here and why you do what you do, but I just want to reiterate that. It's really important. As far as our season, we're coming off a 3-7 year. Again, kind of like Coach Nichols, is not where we want to be, obviously. We're looking to rebuild. We're going to be a very young football team this year. We only have 5 seniors on the roll at this point in time, but the team that we got is bonding and coming together and doing the things that we ask them to do and becoming a team, and that's been a lot of fun to be around these young men. Really looking forward to a great season. Have high expectations as always, and good luck to you guys, good luck to you players out there, and good luck to you coaches out there, and I'm looking forward to a great 2019 season. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Adam Clack. I'm the head coach at Milton High School. Like the coaches before, thank you to Dr. Kraft, Dr. Looney, Christian, the board members. What a great message and what a great event. I love coming to this every year because it means it's getting close. Summer's great, winter's great, and all that kind of stuff, but it's time to turn the page and really get plugged in and kick the fall off the way we all love to. With me today, I brought what I think is part of what makes Milton very special, the alignment that we have between our principal, Principal Jones, who is not here today, and our athletic director, Gary Silvestri, is very special, very unique. The way those guys fight for our players and our coaches and set us up for success is truly what I believe is the first cog in all of our success at that school. And so I got my AD right here, Gary Silvestri. Also, I've got 2 very special players. If you guys stand up real quick, Jack Rhodes, to give him a position would be very difficult. He starts at 4, 5, 6 different positions over the last 3 years. Looking at him to be a safety and a receiver this year, and our offensive lineman Paul Teo. He also plays a little bit on the defensive line for us as well. Both of these guys are 3-year starters. Both of them are committed to play currently at the next level. Jack to Furman and Paul to Clemson. And both of them are better young men than they are football players, and that says a lot. I could go through all their accolades, but I think if you come and watch us play, you'll see them stand out and you'll see them lead. And the young men that they are becoming with the success that they have had at an early age is what's probably most inspirational, as they are two very, very strong leaders emerging on our football team. So, Jack and Paul, thank you for coming. Coming off of a very special season, and we're very grateful and thankful and honored and all those type of things. But the number one thing right now is we're focused on the windshield and not the rear view. That team is gone now, and 2019 is the task at hand, and that's the message for our guys and what we're building on right now. Each year is its own set of challenges and obstacles, and we like to look at those as opportunities. And we have a very, very different group this year, and we're going to kind of celebrate that. And that's kind of our rally cry is built different going into this year. Different personalities, different strengths, different weaknesses. A lot of new challenges on our schedule. We get to open up with Buford and the Corky Cal. We get to host the Freedom Bowl and bring in great teams from all over the country, or the East Coast at least, and celebrate our troops and things of that nature. Then we get to go out to California week 3 and play in a Trinity. It's called the Trinity Showcase, and teams like John Bosco and Mater Dei and Jay Sarah will be there. So we're doing our best just to create the biggest experience for our kids. And as Coach had a message, I equally have a message as well, and that's just football is the greatest game in the world. I don't care what anybody says, what it does for young men, what it does for a community, what it does for the coaches who coach it. It makes us all better. And there's a lot of great sports out there, and I was a 3-sport athlete, and I love baseball, and I love wrestling, and I love football, basketball, and baseball, and all of them. But nothing teaches the core values that I think make great men and help build communities like football. And right now, especially in the suburbs, we see numbers trending downward at an alarming rate. So right now we're trying to create that experience to keep guys hungry to play and see the value in it. Try to educate people on and educate ourselves to make the game safe and to highlight maybe some of the things that are misinformation out there. Just wanting to promote our community and our game in the best light. And that's really kind of a mission of ours at Milton High School. So we're excited for the season. We're excited to get this thing going again. Excited to see all you guys play. So many great-looking athletes in the room today. Fulton County, man. Fulton strong. One Fulton is what we like to say. And it's just really, really cool to see what this county is doing, not only on the gridiron, but in all athletics. So with that, looking forward to the season. See you later.
Good morning. My name is Matt Kemper. I wake up every day and count myself very fortunate to be the head football coach at Roswell High School. I'd like to echo what these gentlemen said and thank Dr. Kraft for putting on this great event for the 5th year now. Thank Dr. Looney for being here. It's great to meet you, sir, and look forward to all the great things you're going to do for us here in Fulton County. Thank our board members for being here, but especially Ms. Stewart, who we know is a Hornet at heart. I'd like to introduce our table, our principal, Dr. Robert Shaw, and our freshly minted, brand new athletic director, Mr. Ben Suter. The two young men, let me back up a second. We get an email probably a couple months ago from Ms. Basili that this event's getting ready to happen, and we need your bio, coach, and we need the bios of 2 players that you want to bring. And it took me all of about a half a second to know which guys. These young men are unbelievable representatives for our program and our community. And I try not to get choked up just talking about them. First one is Danico Slaughter. Number 3, plays outside linebacker for us. He's a 2-year starter. He was an all-region performer. Played in the North-South game last year, which we were fortunate to host, so I got to watch him play. Danico, about halfway through the season, started getting phone calls every day of, we want you to come play for us, all right? And He had offers from SEC schools, ACC schools, you name it. But he has chosen to go live in the heat, and he is committed to Arizona State University. Our other young man, Will Troutman, Will Troutman's the young man you want your daughter to grow up and marry. All right, this guy takes rocket science and brain surgery every day in class, okay? He's got a 3.9 GPA. He got a 1310 on the SAT. That's about my score 3 times. He is being recruited by several of those very, very smart schools. He has a spot at Columbia. He has an offer to University of New Hampshire. And to tell you how smart he is and how good a football player he is, last week he was offered a spot at Harvard. So this guy can play football, and he's a sharp kid and a great young man. But to talk about our season a little bit, we've started. Football starts in January. Everybody thinks it starts in August or late July, but it starts in January. It's a year-round thing now with being in the weight room, working all year. Obviously, you amp it up as you get closer to August with camps and 7-on-7 and all the things these guys talked about, and we do those things too. We just got back from FCA camp at the University of West Georgia on Wednesday. But the message that we've tried to really drive home to our football team is, we came out of the gate 3 years ago, won 3 football games. And I'm sure the entire state of Georgia thought Roswell football was dead because they hired this bum right here. And, we were kind of off the radar and able to win 9 games last year. But that first step in resurrecting the program is the easy step. All right, the next step is the hard step, because now it's all about the very, very smallest of details and leaving absolutely not just stones, but pebbles unturned. Our guys understand that. We understand the responsibility we have to represent the community of Roswell, Georgia, because it's a special place. You walk down the hallways and 10 teachers are going to walk by and say, "Go Hornets." Also, unfortunately, you walk into Walmart and somebody's going to say, "How are we going to beat, Coach?" So it's important. These guys understand that, and they take that responsibility very, very seriously. We're excited about this year. We have a really, really good senior class, but like every football team in America, we're going to need some young guys to contribute here and there and play roles for us, and we're obviously going to have to stay healthy and hope for the best. Hope that oblong ball bounces our way a few times. So thank you.
All right, the next group of coaches I'm going to come up are the Northeast Learning Community. So we'll bring up Centennial, Chattahoochee, Johns Creek, and Northview.
My name is Shane Sams. I'm the new head football coach here at Centennial High School. Before we get started, just like everybody else, I'd like to thank Dr. Kraft for putting on a special event. This is something that's very special to be a part of, that promotes the athletes and promotes this county. That's very huge. It's good to meet Dr. Looney, and a great message from Christian. A little bit about the players that I brought. First of all, I'd like to introduce our athletic director, and Jeff Birch. And then our 2 players, if you can go ahead and stand up, that we brought. It's going to be our senior right tackle, 3-year starter, and Keon Merritt Sams. And then it's going to be our junior receiver, Julian Nixon. These are 2 players. Obviously, they're good-sized players. They play hard. But these are 2 players that have really, when I came to Centennial, just bought into the process. They knew that what we were trying to do is going to be changing a program and building a culture. And they came right in. They worked hard, lifting weights, getting after it. And not only that, they led on the field. They're taking the young guys, they're leading them, they're showing them what to do, and they're just helping the process go. So, one thing going forward, be coming up to North Fulton, it's something to be special, be a part of up here. It's a special community. It's a school system that cares about their football program. It's a community that wants to be a part. I'm very excited to be here, very excited to be a part of that. A little bit on the outlook of the season. Centennial has been doing very well the last couple of years. They went 7-4 in the first round of playoffs, had some injuries, and my hope is to build on that success that's been going on. And with that is we want to build a program and a culture that gets kids prepared, not only for football, because football will end every day or sometime for some kids. We want to prepare them for life outside of football. And when we do that and we build a program and a culture that embraces that, then that's when we're feeling like we're building a true football program that's getting ready for that. Going through the summer, what we've kind of gone through, we're going to be a little bit young this year, so we had to go get some live reps. We went down south to OTA down there to face some South Georgia football teams. Then we just got back from an OTA with North Forsyth up there. Alpharetta was at the same one, and those were good, very good reps and live reps. We saw a lot of good things from our kids getting better. And then we also went to the 7-on-7s. I think that's just big thing that everybody feels they got to be a part of and go to now. So we went to some 7-on-7s and got some reps there and got better. Our outlook on the season is just like everybody else. We want to be region champs. We want to compete for that. But we got a lot of good football teams in our region that are getting better and building good things. So we got some really good competition there. And then, over the years, we want to be consistently competing for that region championship. Thank you very much.
My name is Coach Mike Malone. I'm on the representation on behalf of Chattahoochee High School. With that being said, I want to thank Dr. Kraft, Dr. Looney, and just giving me an opportunity to be a part of something so great within the Fulton County school system. I want to thank board members. I want to thank my principal, Dr. Todd, and I want to thank my athletic director, JJ, for giving me the opportunity and believing in me. I want to thank those young men that came today and representing us on our behalf. Gianluca Jones, if you would stand up for me, please, and Parker Jenkins. Gianluca, he's going to be a 2-year starter for us. He's a defensive back. Then we have Parker Jenkins, who's also a linebacker for us. We're expecting big things from these guys on and off the field. They do a great job of representing Chattahoochee High School with integrity, pride, and respect, doing the little things right. With that being said, I just want to thank them guys. Going on to the expectations, I know, the expectations are big, especially, coming in, being new to the job, not knowing what to expect. But what I can say is this, the expectations, from in this community, from in the school system, is probably, very high. Well, mine is 10 times what that is. And what we've, my motto is I came in as coaches, we got to model the way. So everything that we do, we want to do the little things the right way and making sure that, like, Christian said, doing the little things the right way, because this game is so special. But at any given second, it'll be taken away from me. So I hope that was able to touch a lot of you young men in here today to understand that, this game, we love it, but at the same time, it's so much more than just what we see on the football field. And, being special and understanding what you represent and what you wear every day. The other piece of it, in terms of how the season went last year, we went 0-10. Obviously, that's not what we wanted. That's not, what the expectation was. But what I can say is this. We're trying to learn how to do the little things the right way, because I think that transfers to the field. Doing the little things the right way, on and off the field, serving and giving back to the community. Understanding that, one of the mottos that I have here is chasing greatness. And, greatness is simply a little small things done well. And that's all we're simply trying to do. And I think if you don't set that bar too high, but if you do those little things right, that stuff will transfer to the field and you'll ultimately get to where you're trying to go. And then in terms of the outlook, really excited to be a part of this region. We have high expectations, obviously. We want to, compete for a region championship year in and year out, and ultimately have an opportunity to go to playoffs. And my only job is to get here. My only job being here is to ultimately get this dynasty back to where it used to be, and that's winning, like they did in 2010 when they won the championship. So with that being said, I'm so thankful and blessed for this opportunity. I look forward to a great year. And just really, really excited to be a part of Fulton County Schools. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Matt Helmerich, head football coach at Johns Creek High School. Again, thank you, Dr. Kraft. I mean, this is an elite event that you put on every year, and coaching some different spots, different counties, and never been a part of something like this before. So thank you, Dr. Looney, for allowing us to have this, and thank you, Christian, for coming and visiting us. Want to introduce our two players here. Guys, stand up. Will Watson's there on the right. John Ross May is on the left. A little bit about Will. 32 on the ACT, 4.0. Accomplished piano player. Went to a couple of his concerts. He is unbelievable on the piano as well, and almost as good as he is in the backfield carrying the ball. So great player. He's going to go to college wherever he wants. John Ross May led the region in tackles last year, all-region player, and team captain as a junior, which is rare for our program. And looking forward to big things for him. He's already got a few scholarship offers, and he'll have a couple more. So just one thing about these two guys is Christian touched on a little bit, about trusting the process. And, coaching changed a few years ago, and new coaches and new staff, and lost, 33, 34 seniors and 8 transfers, and it was a whirlwind for them when I first got there. And they have done just that. They trusted the process, and it showed last year, and it'll show again this year. So thanks, guys. A little bit about last year. Fortunate enough to go 9-1, win the region. Lone loss was to the team out in Washington, D.C. We were a little overmatched out there. But, had a great group of kids, graduated 27 seniors. Good thing is a lot of these guys, my first year, I think we had four seniors that had actually played football before. So a lot of these guys, last year's senior class and this year's senior class, all played as sophomores and juniors. Last year's JV team was 7-0. So even though we lost a lot, looking forward to having another big year. And, these guys have been working hard. We had some OTAs over in Gwinnett, got after it a little bit, and, did the whole 7-on-7 circuit, which, AD, Jason Holcomb calls fake football. Hey, Coach Holcomb, forgot to introduce you. So, appreciate Coach Holcomb always having my back in everything we try to do in the program. But again, had some success with 7-on-7, and hopefully that translates, into this year. So we open up with 2 out-of-state opponents. We go over to South Carolina, return trip to Fairfield Central. We're near Columbia, South Carolina, and then we got a really talented team from Orlando Jones High School. We got about 15 kids with D1 offers coming up for round 2, and then we jump into our region, which is ultra competitive, and great coaches in our region, and it's a battle every year. So. Trying to build the culture still. Community is jumped on the bandwagon and supported these kids and supported our program and our school. And I just, I can't say enough about North Fulton and Georgia football, and how much the community, the people, the school board, puts the resources back into the football programs, the athletic programs, and the schools. And just a joy to be here and be a part of it. So thank you.
Hello, I am Coach Danny Young. I am not Coach James Thompson. He is our head coach. I am his assistant head coach and outside linebackers, inside linebackers coach for him. He is not with us because our team is currently in Carrollton, Georgia at the FCA camp. Many coaches have already talked about their OTAs and all that. We go to that late in the season, and we push. That's something for us to push as our motto is family. So he apologizes not for making it, but we're in the situation where he's actually our double coordinator. He calls all of our offensive plays and all of our defensive plays, so he is vital to our success. So that is why he is there instead of here. Obviously, as coaches, we know the importance of bringing our team together in those OTAs. Like the other coaches, I'd like to thank the community. I'd like to I call him Coach McDaniel, but thank our athletic director, Scotty McDaniel, our principal, Brian Downey, for all their support. We live in a great community in Johns Creek. Our school at Northview is very distinct because of our academics. So to be successful in athletics, you have to work very hard in both those arenas. And these two young men that we have that we always push for the motto of family on our team are shining examples of that. I'd like to introduce them. If they'd stand up. Our defensive captain, number 1, Jalen Beasley. He's a 3-year starter, holds multiple offers as a safety. He is a great athlete. He ran track for me. Very fast, hard-hitting guy, knows for the football, just gets after it. He'll be playing on Saturday somewhere next year as a safety. He played outside linebacker for us for a couple of years just because he had a nose for the football and really knock your head off. So he's going to make a big difference for us back there at safety as a ball hawker. Our other guy, number 3, Bo Lark, 2-year starter, 2,000-yard passer. Holds I think it's a 1,400 in his SAT, 4.0 GPA. Now, those are great numbers, but at Northview High School, that's amazing as an athlete. We're an excellent academic institution and to order and do that as a two-sport athlete and be a very good two-sport athlete and hold those academic numbers is something that is unrivaled, I would say. Both these young men, we preach family in our program, and they're shining examples of that. They always put the team first. Even as sophomores, they were pushing to just be better as a team. And I couldn't think of 2 better guys to bring with me, so thank you, gentlemen. As far as the season goes, we as a program have improved. I came with Coach Thompson 3 years ago from Gwinnett County, where I grew up and played at Collins Hill and then coached at Brookwood and a couple other schools there, and came over with him. Coach McDaniel taught me into coming over with this new guy from Florida. Coach Thompson is an amazing coach. We set our program not based on wins and losses, but building better men. Now, a lot of programs say that, but we actually live it. We have a very small team. We're not the biggest team in the world. Maybe 45 guys on our varsity team, but everybody plays a vital role, whether it's a starter, backup, what have you, and we preach family. Our program is about building better men. I can honestly say as these men come back to us and they see us on the sideline or I see them in the hallways that we're doing that. And while we have improved, we started 3-7 in our first season, then moved to 5-5 on the cusp of the playoffs. With a very tough region, with all these guys up here, we know how tough football is around here. But we believe that if you buy into what our program philosophy is of family, we'll continue to make those strides as far as just continuing with that. We are a senior and junior-laden team, so we got a lot of guys with a lot of experience. We got a great offensive line, really good defense that we're going to lean on, and we expect to have as many as 5 to 6, 7 guys signing scholarships to move on to play on Saturdays. So hopefully we continue to improve on that 5-5 record and have a successful 2019 season. Thank you.
All right, now I'm going to call up the Central Learning Community and Hapeville Charter. So that'll be North Springs, Riverwood, Tri-Cities, and then Hapeville Career Academy.
Hello, my name is Scotty Parker. I'm the head coach at North Springs. This will be my 3rd season as the head coach there. like all the other coaches, I'd like to thank Dr. Kraft, Dr. Looney, our guest speaker Christian for coming out. It's been great. There's some great things going on at North Springs. I'd like to also thank Dr. Kraft and Fulton County for our brand new turf. We got on it yesterday for the first time, and the kids was like they was running around like little kids in the candy store, running around all over the place. It was great to just watch them get on that new grass for the first time. Being in the middle, you get to hear all the other coaches talk, and you get to hear what they say about the players and what we're talking about and what we do. And since you think about, well, I was going to say this, well, I ain't going to say that no more. But the kids that I brought with me today, y'all stand up. North Springs, if you didn't know much about North Springs, when I got to North Springs 3 years ago, North Springs had won 3 ball games in 10 years. We ended up the first year going to the playoffs, second year going to the playoffs. Last year started out probably the most talented team I've ever had. We was averaging over 41 points a game in the first 4 ball games. Quarterback broke his hand, went down. We ended up having 8 different kids take quarterback snaps. Now that's fun, especially when you take a linebacker and start him at quarterback a game, just because you ain't got nobody else that can handle the ball. These 3 young men got to see everything from their freshman year to now. We only got 5 starters coming back on offense and defense. These are 3 of them right here. Mike Miller, he's probably, everybody looks at him, you probably see if he had his little jumpsuit on, thought he was probably the quarterback. He's my starting offensive guard. Gritty, hard-nosed. You ain't got to be a big dude if you got it in here. And if you work hard and you're smart and you do what your coaches do, you'll have success. He's a good little kid to watch. He's fun to watch. You'll see people splattered all over the ground pop up. Mike be the one getting off the top of them. So it's fun to watch the big kids. Matt Rosenstein, he's starting at outside linebacker for us last year. He will also transition over this year. He's going to play a little slot for us on offense. Tough, hard-nosed kid, going to get after it, does everything the coaches said. Now, number 2, I left him for last. This is Narayan Brown. This might be probably the best defensive corner lockdown that I've ever coached. This kid can play. And what's good about him and what's real neat, and listen to the coaches talk, I've got to see him grow. When I first got to North Springs, I was just a D-line coach, so we pulled up some of the little middle school kids to be our ball boys. He was one we pulled up, and I got a picture of him. He's like 5'2", maybe 80 pounds, soaking wet, and he's developed and got into our program, and he's turned into our captain and our leader of our squad. And I'm very proud of all 3 of these guys. All of them we're a high academic school. They all keep their academics straight, so as far as getting into college, it's going to be up to them. So I appreciate you guys being here with us today. I'd also like to introduce our new athletic director, Coach Vince Trine, that we got from Chattahoochee. He's hit the road running wide open. He's been with us for about 2-3 weeks now, and he is wide open, getting stuff done for us. And I really appreciate you being there and doing what you're doing for the program right now. Kind of reiterate on last year's season, wasn't what we thought. We thought we'd do a 3-peat, go to the playoffs again. Ended up going 3-7. Still averaged over 28 points a game with all those quarterbacks. So it was an interesting and fun thing to do, but we found out what adversity was. When your quarterback goes down on a Thursday right before walkthroughs because of stuff that happened at school that day, and then you get another one, you bring him in, then his shoulder gets dislocated, first play of the first series of the first game. Then you bring in your freshman quarterback, he gets hurt. You take your fastest kid, put him at quarterback, he breaks his foot on the next Wednesday. I'm telling you, it's fun when you're going down from A, B, C, D, all the way down the line, just getting people to play. But we're going to be very young this year. It's going to be very exciting to watch. We got 32 sophomores that might have the best potential that I've seen over there. So probably about 15, 16 of them is going to be starting. It's going to be very fun to watch. But we bring a fast-paced, fun, action-paced thing to our fans and get them excited. Try to do the right things. Academically, we've had 26 kids over the past 3 years get to go play football at the next level. Last year, we had 6 sign. We had 2 decline to go in the military services for us. And I look at them two boys as higher as I did my six that ended up signing for them wanting to choose to go into the military route. Very proud of them. But we look forward to the exciting season. We still get to play a couple of you guys in region, so it's going to be fun this year. Look forward to seeing all you other guys do good and have a great season. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Willie Clay. I'm here representing Riverwood. Coach Edwards couldn't be here. I'm the DC over there at Riverwood. I want to thank Dr. Kraft, Dr. Looney, Fulton County Board for having us here. Christian, unbelievable what you've done. I've been fortunate enough to play football at the highest level, man, and when I see that happen, because I remember the story, obviously, when you're a football player and you see that, you know it, you understand it, man, and for you to do what you just did, it takes a great amount of courage, man. It does, and like I say, that's unbelievable. You know, it's unbelievable. A little bit about Riverwood. Coach Edwards and I and the staff, last year was our first year over there. When he called me and asked me that he was taking the job at Riverwood, I said, Riverwood, is that little school on the side of 285? And I'm not trying to make it a joke, but it was. And when we got over there, had no idea what we were walking into. First of all, being in Sandy Springs, being in a charter school, like Coach said, I think it was Northview and obviously North Springs, academics is #1 over there where we are. So obviously when you go over there, you get great kids. You get kids that not only football, but obviously academics. And the three guys that I got here, obviously, I'm a defensive guy, so I brought 3 defensive guys with me. The first guy I brought, Elijah Kirby, stand up Elijah. He's a 3-year starter for us. He went from, you know, when we got there, being the average player, but last year he just took off. He's obviously second-year captain for us. Great motor. Obviously, he has offers to go play Division I football, and he will. Like I say, 3.2 student. Like I said, all the kids over there are going to have the grades in order to produce over at Riverwood. So he's going to be one of our bell caps this year, obviously on defense. All right, Elijah. The next guy, Larry Thomas, another 3-year starter, outside linebacker, DN. Larry has career, I think, 22, 23 sacks. Motor, unbelievable motor. Like I said, unbelievable motor. He'll get after you from when he gets off the bus all the way to when you get back on the bus. Obviously, with a motor like that, we obviously got to control him. But Larry has quite a few Division I offers also. Larry has a 2.9 average. Larry is one of our leaders. He's always been at every workout that we've had this year. So he's excited about what he's going to do this year. All right, next guy is Tyson Young. He's a middle linebacker, small in stature. He will knock your block off, and he's a 3.8 student. Obviously, Tyson, I always tell Tyson, you want to go play ball in college? He's like, no, I'm a bioengineer. I said, bioengineer, it's crazy, but he have the opportunity to play if he wants to, but I think Tyson is going to go on and do bigger and better things, you know, and that's kind of the Tyson that represents kind of the character of the kids that we have over there at Riverwood. All right, Tyson. Also, I would like to thank our AD, Mike Mazzio. When we got to Riverwood, obviously Mike welcomed us in with open arms. Anything we've asked for, he's given to us, and it's been a great, great experience. A little recap of last year. When we got to Riverwood, they were 2-8 the year before we got there. Last year, we went 8-3. We lost to Carrollton in the first round of the playoffs. I think it was the first time Riverwood has hosted a home playoff game in 20 years. So obviously we had an exciting season. The hardest part with success is obviously raising the bar higher. We did lose 26 seniors. We lost basically everybody on offense. We were fortunate that we had 11 guys going to sign to play college football. But we bring a young group back, but they got some experience, and we're ready to go. Like I said, with the staff we have, the guys, everybody, all the kids have committed to us. They've worked hard for us. They did everything we've asked. Obviously, we've did the 707 circuits. We've done a little bit of everything. But we're excited. We're excited. Our expectations this year is to continue what we build on. Obviously, every year creates a different monster. But we're excited. We're excited. We play in a good region. Last year, we finished second in the region. And this year, we plan on hopefully trying to go get it. But, I mean, it's up to the season. We'll see how it falls. But I do appreciate you being here. To all the guys in this room, I was fortunate enough to play college at a high level, professional at a high level. Guys, I know you dream big to play professional football, but I was fortunate enough. What I did was I went to Georgia Tech. I got my degree. So therefore, I tell you guys in this room, because I'm pretty sure everybody here has the ability to go play college football. If you go play college football, the most important thing is to get your degree. Football will take care of itself. If you don't take care of your academics, there is no future. And like I said, I wish everybody well. Coaches, I wish you well. It's great to compete against everybody. As a guy who loves coaching, I'm very enthusiastic. And like I said, I just enjoy it and I love it. And I love being a great mentor for the young men that we get a chance to be around, because that's what it's about. All right, thanks.
Good morning. My name is Terrence Banks. I bring you greetings from Tri-Cities High School on behalf of our new principal, Ms. Shatina Love, and our athletic director, Kenneth Miller. Neither are here, but I bring you greetings on their behalf. Again, thank you to Dr. Kraft, Dr. Looney for having us. Christian, everybody's already said that, but everybody needs to hear your story because it proves that anything is possible even when people think something is over. The fact that you are progressing and continue to do everything you want to do in life, people need to know that you get knocked down, but if you believe, you get back up. So that's very important. I'm excited to be in this room. This is going into my first year at Tri-Cities. I've been a head coach for 6 years, and this is a complete change of pace for me, going from a 7A school with 2,500 kids in it to a 6A school with about 1,500 kids in it. So it's a nice change of pace already. I'd like to talk about the two wonderful young men that I brought with me. If both of them could please stand up for me. I have with me Cameron Ball, who's going to be a junior. He's a offensive lineman, defensive lineman for us. And like many of the things that have already been said about many of the kids, he's been fantastic since I got there. A very hard worker who sets the standard for our teammates. Going into his junior year, he's already received 2 Division I offers from Charlotte and Ball State, and the sky is the limit for him. Also, next to him is Adam Sharif, who's going to be an outside linebacker starter for us for his 3rd year. He also has a 4.0 GPA, and he's the leader that I think all coaches look for, and as coaches have said, he's not real talkative around our program, but when he says something, kids do it. And as I've already told him, I think that's the most important part about leadership. A lot of people talk, but everybody doesn't follow them. He doesn't always say a lot of things, but when he says it, everybody follows. So very appreciative and very thankful that I brought these 2 young men to show off. You guys can sit down for me. We're real excited at Tri-Cities. Much like Coach said, we got a brand new turf. We have not been on there yet, and they're going to have to wait a little longer. My belief as a head coach is that everything has to be earned. So now that we've got permission to get on there, we're still going to practice on the grass until we earn it. Maybe that'll be sometime on July 29th. Maybe it'll be the first time we walk on there for the scrimmage game. On August the 16th against Cambridge. Who knows? It's all up to them. But the way that they've been working, I think they'll get on it soon enough. When people talk about expectations and belief, in my experience, I've been able to kind of see it all as a head coach, except for winning the state championship in my 6 years. And what it taught me to get to this point is that every day you just have to be better than what you were yesterday. So, and being the last 6 years kind of being in a county with only 3 schools and then coming to a county with 17, I've been used to kind of being off into the cut. So I think even this summer we've kind of did a lot of things just by ourselves, and we went to smaller OTAs and we tried to go to smaller 7-on-7 because everything for us has been about teaching. And the number one thing I think is just anything that means anything in any program is we have 2 main rules. For my coaches is to love players. If you don't love players, it will not matter what you try to teach them because they will not listen. So everybody on my staff, that's the first thing I ask them, tell me about your family, tell me about what you do, because if I didn't feel like you love players, then we didn't need you at Tri-Cities. And then number 2, we're teaching our players to love each other. When I first got hired and I walked into the weight room, it might have been 18 kids there. there are now, I think this summer we've had 67 kids come to at least 10 days of voluntary workout. So our numbers are increasing so much that we're going to have to buy some new helmets. We don't even have enough jerseys right now to outfit everybody if we wanted to dress everybody on a Friday night. So we're going to have to address that issue. But I think 60 is a good number. When coming from a program where I had 125 kids, I felt as a head coach I didn't get a chance to at some point touch everybody. So being able to get a chance to touch my kids, and we generally have been focused on loving each other. We play in a very hard region with several teams that are very good, and our expectations for this year is just simply to get better every day. Everything else will take care of itself. Our motto is rebuild the city. And so we have a standard to look up to. Our basketball team, being now state champions, and just seeing how they model themselves, how they act in the building, and those things, that's what we're trying to live up to. And we know that if we just take it day by day, there's no, hey, we got to make the playoffs this year. There's no, hey, we need to win 5 or 6 games. We don't worry about any of that. We're just simply worried about being a better football team on Monday than we were the last time we got together yesterday. And then on Tuesday, we'll repeat and keep going, and then everything will take care of itself. And at the end of the season, we'll look back, and maybe it'll be just 1 win, maybe it'll be 10. We don't know. But we do know that if we continue the process, then you get good, and when it happens real fast. So we're very excited to try to go about the process of rebuilding the city, and we are looking so forward to this football season. And thank you again for having us, and if you've got any free time, you're always welcome in East Point to come check out Tri-Cities. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Coach Winston Gordon, Hateville Charter Career Academy. I bring greetings from my principal, one of the best principals I think in the county, Miss Candace Bethay. Also want to thank Dr. Looney, Dr. Kraft, and all the Fulton County Board for all that they do for the charter schools. Also want to acknowledge Safe Mode 6, man. That was a great message to the kids, and you do a great job of being an ambassador from the South Side, and these kids really look up to you, and even to your mom and your dad for their courage and strength for what they do, and your support system. As I see it all the time, being that I worked with your mom for such a long time. They're just great people, and you know, your message really resonated to a lot of these kids, and we just want to thank you, brother. Thank you, and just keep doing what you're doing, and keep your head down, and keep working. And you know, God will see you through everything. I want to also acknowledge our other assistant principal in the back, Miss Tracy McClure, for all that she does for our program. Our counselor, Miss Knox, back there in the back, they both hide, and they'll hide back all the time. But we don't have an athletic director at the moment, so you know I put them to work all the time. So they really the athletic directors, the eligibility center people. They do it all. And we got a lot of kids in college. We got about 64 kids right now playing college football at Hateville, and we turn them out every year. We had 20-something last year and 20-something the year before that, and we got a lot of guys playing FCS and FBS ball. So our staff do a great job of that. The 2 young men that I brought with me today, 2 young men that's been with us since the 6th grade at Hateville Charter. If you can stand up in the back, number 2, Marcus Carroll. Marcus Carroll's an all-state football player. He has several offers, and he's a real loyal kid. Been with me since the 6th grade. Been running around the program over at Hateville and wanting to play, and finally got to the high school and been starting ever since he touched the door. So that tells a lot about this kid. And one of the most unselfish things that I think about him and the loyalty about him, as even in his recruitment and as he's gained so much notoriety, he had Michigan come to the table and Maryland and all these guys offer, and he committed to Coastal Carolina because they were one of the first ones at the table. And that tells you a lot about the kid. And just his commitment and his loyalty and the way that he works. And he's just a great person overall about everything about you. And the next young man I have me is Joseph Weirs, also another kid that's been with us since the 6th grade, running around the campus. And now he's turned into one of the best punter and kickers in the country, rated by Coles. And He'll be able to take his talents wherever he deems necessary for him. He has a lot of people and a lot of interest and a lot of people that want him, and so he's one of the top kickers and punters in the country. And furthermore, both of those young men have over a 3-point GPA, and both of them have scored over 10-something on the SAT. So that just tells you about the academics and the hard work that these young ladies back there in the back and our administration and staff put within our children. So thank you, young men, and y'all two can have a seat. Well, you know, we fell a little short of our expectations of our season last year. We went 10-2. We had one regular season loss to Alatoona. Guys just went in overconfident. We blew a lead late in the game when we should have went undefeated. But then we got complacent, just like even with the staff and the kids. I think we got a little complacent and got in the second round of the playoffs and got knocked out. But we came back, recharged. We brought about 23, 24 seniors back. I think we got a nice, good group core kids, and a lot of these kids have been with us since the 8th grade. So the energy and the camaraderie between those kids are second to none, and I think we look pretty good going into, you know, for our outlook for the season. We start off week 1 with Cedar Grove. We try to play up. Anybody that, you know, offer us or play us, we play them. We never look to play down because I really like to see where we are with our football team when we take on the season, because we've been fortunate to not have ever lost a region game since we've been in the region. And we've won the region the last 4 years. So, you know, you have to try to look for other competition outside of where you are, and I think that's why we continue to play up and do some of the things we do. You know, at Hayville Charter, we do more with less. We don't have a football field. We don't have a weight room. We don't have any of those things. So, Dr. Kraft, I always tell you this every year, this 6th year, whatever. You know, nobody looks after us the way that you do. Because without those things and without Banneker and Tri-Cities and a lot of our Southside partners, Lou and Wendy, thank you guys too back there in the back for all that you do at Banneker High School to host us and give us opportunity to play on the field, practice on the field, and do those type of things. And you know, like I tell our kids all the time, you don't have to have all those things to go win state championships and put kids in college. If the kids are willing to come out there and work and do what they need to do, you know, you can come by there any day and see our kids pushing SUVs in the parking lot. You can see them out there on a little rock field out there getting ready to play and practice every day. They come to work every day. And those kids on the south side, you know, we're not going to let them feel like they're any more less than anything on the north side. So we fight for our kids every day, and I acknowledge, you know, all the hard work that our staff and administration puts into that. And we just want to say thank you again for all that you do for us, and go Hornets.
All right, now we're going to hear for our last 4 coaches from the South Learning Community: Banneker, Creekside, Langston Hughes, and Westlake.
Good morning. My name is Lou George, first-year head coach at Banneker High School. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to Dr. Kraft, Dr. Bradley, the principal at Banneker, and Mrs. Golston, who's in the back. I call her the pit bull in a skirt. She's as sweet as she can be, but she's gonna make sure you have what you need. And I would say, as being the first-year head coach, in a short amount of time, I got the job on March 18th. And it's just been fast-paced ever since. And I say I'm thankful for her, because she's helped me with the buses and making sure I've got updated physicals on every kid. And just the little things that you may forget when you become a first-time head coach. You want to win games, you want to build relationships, but are you doing the little things right? Our motto this year at Banneker High School is attention to detail. Banneker came off of winning the region championship last year, and I told my guys, when you won the region championship, you are now the marked man in the region. So we got to make sure we're doing all the little things right to make sure that we are progressing as young men, progressing in the classroom, progressing at home, in order to make things happen on the field. You can't do wrong in the classroom, you can't do wrong at home, you can't do wrong in the community and expect to win football games. So are we doing the little things right outside of football in order to be successful in football? So as we develop, as a coaching staff, as we develop the young men that we have at Banneker, we're going that extra step and that extra mile to make sure that we are building relationships beyond the football field. For me, I believe if you get the kids to play for you and they trust you, they'll do anything that you ask for them. I had the pleasure of coaching Christian Abercrombie at Westlake, and I'll never forget a trip we took to University of Tennessee in Knoxville. It was Christian, A.J. Terrell, and Jaden Hunter. And we just sitting in the car just talking. I just remember, Christian doesn't say a whole lot. He just works. But Christian said, "Coach, I just want to be great." I said, "Well, what does that look like?" "Whatever it takes to be great, Coach. I'll do whatever we need to do to be great." And I say to you, Christian, based on seeing you up here and remembering that day 5-6 years ago and seeing how you've grown and matured and handled adversity, you know what I mean? It makes me proud. And you are doing great, and you are great. And you're an inspiration to a whole lot of people that you actually don't know. So have my two guys in the back stand up. So I said, our motto is attention to detail for this year. And these two young men I met the day after I got the notice that I was a head coach. And we started our first workout, and we had 12 kids. We had 12 kids at our workout. And Jackson Ward and Nick Williams were our two senior leaders. Nicholas is going to be a senior quarterback, and Jackson's going to be one of our DBs and receivers as well. And they haven't missed a workout since that day that we started. Are they perfect? No, but they do the little things right, and they're setting a great example for the rest of the young men that we have. And they're great ambassadors in the school as well. Both over 3.0 GBA, going to go on to play college football. I'm looking for great things from them in regards to setting the new foundation for the Banneker football program. All right, you guys can have a seat. Right now we have about 35 young men that are out there practicing, and that's from the incoming ninth graders all the way through the rising seniors. And my message to them is we don't have to have 100 kids. We just need the right kids in the right places at the right time with the right coaches. And I think we're doing that right now at Banneker High School. So our expectation is to win a region championship again this year, but we also know there's going to be a lot of hard work, dedication that's going to take to get that. All right, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Maurice Dixon. I'm the head coach at Creekside High School. And, you know, it's kind of funny. I was talking to Coach Cannon. This is going into my third year. But I can remember when I was the first-year guy up at the table. You know, I know it's a lot of pressure, y'all, but we're going to be fine, man. Just take it one day at a time. Take it one day at a time. If you look down, you ain't really got to look at everybody. You'll talk very easily. Thank you, Dr. Looney. Thank you, Dr. Kraft. Dr. Kraft, you've been very helpful, very inspirational, you've done so much for me since I took the job. I can remember from the interview to, you know, a lot of times in the troubles I go through as just being head coach, you've been right there along the way to help me every step of the way. I want to give a very, very special shout out to my athletic director, the best in the business, Makia Troy. You know, it's not too many times that you have female athletic directors, but we got two of the best on the South Side in the entire state. Those two young men, stand up for me, please. Number 45 is Deontay Bass. Short in stature, but he's pound for pound the best player on our football team. He's an all-region performer, plays fullback on offense, plays defensive line on defense. There's not a lot I can do without that young man. The tall, lankier kid is Rashad Battle. You know, when I took the job, I tell them all the time, I took the job for these young men. You know, when you're a head coach, you're going through the roster. These are the guys who you see on day one. I've seen them mature from, you know, young JV guys to now. Rashad is committed to play at the University of Maryland. So Those guys are at workouts every day, and their effort is unquestioned. Through them, we're going to do some great things this season. You all can have a seat. Both of them over 3.0 students. You got to be a student first in this county. Academics are at the highs, are excellent. Our season outlook, my first year we went 0-10. I took over a program full of broken young men. The second year, we had a lot of success. We ended up being 8-4, won our region, was able to host 2 playoff games. So coming into year 3, the expectation is just to get better every day. Take it one day at a time. Like Coach said, at the end of our practice, are we better than we were yesterday? Right now, we're preparing for coming to practice on Monday, and we're going to run 110s. If we take that mentality of being a good person and getting better every day, not only will you be successful in football, but you'll be successful in life. And, like it's been echoed so many times by so many of the coaches today, we're not just football coaches. We're life coaches. Football is a parallel of life. You have your ups and you have your downs. You got to get back up after the next play. You got to respond to whatever happens to you. It's not about what happens to you. I'm just very excited to be here. Like I tell you every year, good luck to all the coaches, all the staffs, and to y'all players on Friday nights. Thank you.
How everybody doing? Trying to see what name they put up there first. Hey, I'm Coach Boone. Langston Hughes. Daniel Williams, Coach Boone is what I'm mostly known for around the state. I'd like to thank Dr. Kraft, Dr. Looney, the school board, Christian. Powerful words, powerful words. I remember coaching against you at Westlake, so we've always known who Christian was, and just keep being that positive role model to these young kids. I'd like to thank Mr. Chester, our newly appointed principal at Langston Hughes High School, Coach Cannon, our athletic director, my boss. He's been my boss, continue to be my boss. Coach Ms. Golston. Let me thank Ms. Golston too, because she was very, very, very helpful in my preparation to become the head coach at Langston Hughes. This is my first season as the head coach, but I've been in Langston Hughes for 9 years. Quick funny story. Coach Cannon called me last night. You ready? You know what you're gonna say? He said, "You probably gonna change your mind probably about 15 times because you're gonna go last." He was right. So what I was saying that most of the coaches before me spoke on the things that are needed, the effort and time we put in as head coaches, and how detailed our job is. As far as that was my biggest adjustment. I go from coaching the position, defense, to physicals, fundraisers, compliance, eligibility, like all those things. Those were like the biggest adjustments for me. But the 2 players I brought, if you please stand. Tight end, of course, the taller one, Desmond Daniels. This kid he's been a 4-year starter for us. He's done everything we've needed. He's played multiple positions, offensive tackle, defensive end, tight end, long snapper. He's played quarterback before, believe it or not. Kid has multiple offers from several schools around the country. Was a 3.5 GPA kid, 1050, I think, as a freshman. So this kid has done everything for us, and he exemplifies what we asked for. The next kid I have, Antonio Martin. He's a rising sophomore, and I looked around the room. There's not a lot of sophomores in the room. But this kid, when I tell you, does everything right. He came in with a different mindset. He came in with a mindset of being a leader, and it's a silent leader. He's going to always be in the front. He's going to always be, pushing other kids. Academically, he is to the point. He's to the class. First 3 rows, he does a great job. And everybody speaks highly of that kid. You guys can have a seat. Coming off last season, it was not your traditional Langston Hughes season. We were 4-6. mainly because it was, you know, a few things here and there. So when I got the job in December, should I say, my goal was to find a way to get us back to what we were used to, the winning ways, the little things. We started a tad bit earlier, but, you know, the kids kind of bought in. We coming to the end of the summer, which being my first summer. We did 7-on-7s in June, and in July we kind of been focusing on us, trying to make us better, trying to make each kid get better every day. We're in a competitive region with several schools in the room, so I tell my kids all the time, we got to work to get better, and let's try to get better each day. I look forward to the young group of guys I got coming up this season. I only have 5 seniors, so ultimately, like everybody else, we're going to rely on a lot of young guys. So we look forward to competing, and good luck to everybody in the room. And again, thank you to everybody involved.
Good morning. Bobby May, head football coach, Westlake High School. Again, kind of just to echo these other coaches, thank you, Dr. Kraft, and all the rest of the Fulton County Board. Thank you, Coach Green, our athletic director, for being here and for giving me the opportunity to be the head football coach at Westlake. It's my first year as head coach. I was the offense coordinator last year. And then Christian, just kind of a story, obviously, as a Westlake alum, and we have a lot of popular Westlake alums, and just in the last few months, just in case you were unsure of what God's plan is for you, I was talking to a friend down in South Florida, and the conversation used to be, Cam Newton went to Westlake or whatever, but the first thing he mentioned was Christian Abercrombie, and just kind of have seen you on social media and what you're doing, and kind of how you're pouring into your mission. So keep doing what you're doing, and we look forward to having you around more. Just kind of about us, we lost 38 seniors last year off a 9-3 team and region championship team. But for us, the expectations and the goals are the same. When I went and they said pick 2 players, we only have 6 seniors, but I put it out to the assistant coaches, even though I already had them picked, but I put it out to the assistant coaches, and all 15 of them unanimously said these 2 guys. So I'm not a big talker, but I can talk about these guys all day. So Jalen, stand up first, please. Jalen Grice is a senior safety. As you can tell, not the biggest and most intimidating guy, but I promise you that, if you got to play against him, you'd feel it. Jalen is definitely one of our leaders. Since I've been there 2 years, I think he's missed 1 workout, and it was because of the dual enrollment final. 3.8 GPA, 1280 SAT. I can't say enough about both these kids, but I can't say enough about them and how great a kid he is. Jalen will have whatever opportunity he wants to continue at a high academic institution. He'll be a 2-year starter for us at safety. He was a special teams player of the year last year. Like I said, not the guy that's going to get off the bus first, but I promise you're going to feel it after you play him. So Jalen Grice. Next guy is Chase Lloyd. Chase, stand up. Again, both these guys are really good players, and we have a lot of good players, but Chase is kind of the true example of a student athlete. 3.8 GPA, had offers from Columbia, Harvard, other SEC schools recently in the last week or so, committed to Vanderbilt University. Again, shows his commitment to academics and athletics, and to further show his commitment and his parents' commitment, he was in Charlotte last night. They left at 3 a.m. this morning to get him here because he felt it was important to represent his team. Chase will probably be our only 2-way starter this year at wide receiver and DB. He was a 2-way starter last year. He'll probably start at 4 or 5 different positions on defense and on receiver on offense, and we're looking forward to big things from him. Again, there's not 2 better kids I could pick to represent our program and what we're trying to do than these 2 guys. You can go ahead and take a seat. So as far as our outlook, like I said, like a lot of these coaches have said, not to beat a dead horse, but it's about doing the little things right. To me, I'm not putting a stamp on we have to be region champions, we have to win a state championship or anything like that. I'm more worried about the day-to-day things. Is the locker room cleaned? Is the weight room clean? Are we respecting women? Are we holding doors open for women? Are we saying thank you? Things like that. And I think that's going to be the big turning point in our program, and it has been so far since I've taken over. We have great kids. We want to highlight those kids, but we also have to teach some of those kids how to be great kids. but I'm lucky. I go to sleep every night, and I don't have to worry about anybody. I don't have to worry about, kids getting in trouble or anything like that. And a lot of that starts with these guys. They've been there longer than I have, and they've set the precedent, and people look up to them. So I really just want to highlight those guys. We have a tough schedule this year. We start kind of a national schedule. Creekside's our first game. Obviously, they're going to be very tough. And then we go to, we play the Cam Newton Challenge against a team from Alabama. Then we go to Louisiana and play John Curtis. So we're going to go through some bumps, but, I fully expect to win every game we play, and I fully expect to get better every week. So.
Let them grab a quick picture, and then we'll have some closing remarks. I just want to have a few closing remarks and, just want to reiterate what everybody else has said and just say thank you to Dr. Looney, to Ms. Bryant, Ms. Stewart, Ms. Reeves for being here. Kristen, obviously amazing words, and, your inspiration is going to, really, I think, affect our district. Being from Fulton County and everything that you stand for is awesome. To all the players and coaches, good luck this year. We're excited. If you look on the back of the program that you have, you will see we have our Gridiron Challenge coming up, and you will see that we have 14 of our 15 or 14 of our 16 schools are playing in it. So we got 4 sites coming up. I believe it's the third week of August that we are playing, and I'm excited for that. So it's one of those unique opportunities for us to have some north-south type matchups just because of the city of Atlanta. It's kind of hard to travel, and our region schedules make it kind of difficult. So we thought the Gridiron Challenge was a great way to highlight the amazing things that are happening on the football field for us in Fulton County. So we're excited for that. We're going to have another great season. We've been fortunate. The last 2 years, we've had 2 teams win a state championship, and, I'd love to see the third one. So we'll find out if y'all can put in the work and, have the season that you expect to. So I'm very confident that you will. A couple things just to close up. Players, once we're done, I'm going to get you to come up here and take a picture with Christian, and then we're going to take a quick picture with all the head coaches. Players, after that picture, you will see Miss Melissa Basili in the back, and we've got a shirt for you. I want to just say thank you real quick to Melissa, and I don't know where she's hiding, somewhere back there, but this event doesn't happen without her, so I want to give her a round of applause. As most of you know, she is my boss. She is my PA, and she is the person that takes care of athletics in this district. I can tell you that. She is awesome. So I want to say thank you to the Fulton County Communications team and for the members of the media that are here for this. So we thank you very much. We truly appreciate it, and good luck on the upcoming season. Thank you.